Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Luxor. So I hope everyone is having a great day today. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys are healthy. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. And that there's good vibes all around. Now, these stages are getting quite long. It takes at least, once you get past like stage 6 or 7, even on the easier modes, it'll take you about half an hour to complete a stage. So they don't actually move this fast. The video's sped up. Now, currently playing hard mode, so I'm deviously curious to see what insane mode has to offer. So, I saw a ceiling tile on the floor for the first time in my life recently. So I get to my shift at Burrito Horn, I clock in, do my thing, and right as I'm walking in, I notice, maybe 10 feet from the front door, there's what looks like a clod of dirt and water everywhere. So I tell my manager, and it turns out it happened not that long ago because it was very fresh. It was very fresh and moist. So at most, it had to have been like 20-30 minutes. So yeah, a piece of the ceiling just fell onto the floor. So we had to throw away that cracked tile and then put a bowl under it because it was dripping water. And if you're wondering, yes, we stayed open, and yes, we kept the dining room open. I mean, it wasn't like it was flooding, but still. So we stayed away from that corner as best we could. See, I recently went on vacation for my 24th birthday. I went to my uncle's lake house. Gotta say, it was an absolute blast. I am a huge water guy. I love to be in the water. Pools, ocean, lake, river, water park. If it's got water, I'm having a good time. I don't know why, I just always like being in the water. I like swimming. Now, what I really like is when the water's about a little over waist deep, and you can jump like you're on the moon. You kind of float like Princess Peach. You jump, and then you just kind of slowly come back down. Now, many, many years ago, I was visiting my aunt in Tennessee. She no longer lives in Tennessee, she lives in Florida now. But at the time, she was located in Tennessee. I gotta say, Tennessee has some great atmosphere. It's cloudy and gloomy, but like, not in a depressing way. It's cool, but not cold. It's very calm. Like, obviously they have storms, like the rest of the states, but the weather is very still and very calm. A lot of wildlife. And the whole atmosphere was just very positive. Yeah, some places have their own signature thing going on. Arizona's got the crazy heat. Florida's got the people. Illinois has the taxes and the weed. Indiana's got some of the best roads. Although not some of the best drivers, though. Yeah, Tennessee, like, it doesn't try to go all hard. It's just, like, very serene. That mountain life is pretty good. Anyway, so what we were doing while we were there, my aunt was in this little creek that was by her cabin, and she called them geodes, but she was looking for crystals inside of rocks. So she had this special rock hammer. It was like a little pickaxe looking thing, and she would break some rocks open and try to find crystals inside of them. Now, she had a spare one. She let me crack open a few rocks. I was not successful. I did not find a single crystal. I walked away broke. Now, I had my swim trunks on while I was in the river, and as I was walking, I slipped on some rock that was on the very bottom. and I fell on my booty. I didn't go under because it was pretty shallow. But then after the pain went away, I'm like, ugh, this feels pretty nice. So then I just kind of started swimming in the river. And I'm sitting, and I got my hands at my sides, and I'm just letting the water kind of wash over me. And I feel something in my hand, like, moving around. And I don't know why, but I grabbed it, and I pulled it out of the water. And it was a fish. Now, this fish was really cool looking. It was bright silver, and I remember it was a sunny day that day. And the sun was reflecting off of the silver fish. It was gleaming silver. Looked like a brand new Nissan car. And near the front, like near its head, it had an orange stripe, a black stripe, and a yellow stripe. So this is the coolest looking fish I've ever seen. Now, unfortunately, nobody got it on camera. There's no pics. So, if you doubt me, I don't blame you. But I'm like, hey, I caught a fish! I caught a fish! And my aunt saw it, my dad was there too, he saw it. And then after a while I threw it back, and we swam away, and we never saw it again. You know, looking back on it, maybe it was that one fish where it grants you 3 wishes. You know that short story where the guy catches the fish? It's like, no, don't kill me, I'll give you wishes. Basically a genie fish. And that happens. Maybe that was that. I should have kept that. Should have tried to talk to the fish. Or maybe it's like Mario, you gotta eat it to get the power from it. I don't know. But never seen a fish as cool as that. Even like in the Shed Aquarium, and other aquariums I've been to, they got some cool sea creatures over there, but nothing as shiny and vibrant as that fish. So anyway, when I was at the lake house, I tried to recreate this, but this time I was going to do it on purpose. I got close. I was able to like grab its tail, but it slipped out of my hand. I was not able to catch a fish with my hand. So I guess you can only do it by accident. So my strategy was, I had some lunch meat in my hand. And the fish liked the shade, so they were all hanging out under the docks. And my strategy was, I was just gonna pull a Drax. Wait, is it Drax or Dax? I was gonna pull a Dax. I probably butchered that. And I was gonna stand so incredibly still that I basically became invisible. So my plan was to let the fish kind of nibble at it, and then I was gonna grab it. Well, it almost worked. I'm pretty sure these were bluegill or bass, but I'm not really sure. But the fish would swim really close to me. It would get like 1 inch away from me. And then it would turn around and it would dart in the other direction. And I would always feel the water, because when they dart, like they leave a current behind, like a wake. The fish would get right up to me, and then boom, ran away. Comes right up to me, and then boom, goes away again. And I keep feeling the water whoosh on my body. So I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes, and it becomes clear that I'm going to need to be a little more proactive. So I start slowly inching my hand toward the fish. Apparently this fish can swim backward. Like the fish would move with my hand. I would move my hand forward, the fish would move backward. I pull my hand back, the fish would move forward. This guy was taunting me. And then sometimes I would like dive, I would like try to go for it, but they would always be a little too fast. Like I said, I was able to grab a tail, but other than that, that was about it. And then they start fighting back. A bunch of them start coming. Now, some of them, some bluegill may have like small teeth, but for the most part, I don't think they have teeth. They just have big mouths. I start getting bit. Like I feel a little pinching, most notably on my toes. They keep trying to eat my toes. Like I feel this little pinching on my toes and my legs. They're trying to bite me. So I'm like, oh, okay, now it's on. So now I'm really trying to catch these guys, and it's not working. I know what you're thinking. Matt, why not just get a fishing pole? Because I wanted to try to catch with my hand, okay? So, I keep trying, and eventually I throw in the towel, like, yeah, fish won. And as I'm walking away from the docks, they're still trying to come after me and bite me. And then later, my dad and my brother... So on the lake, we have this big blue raft that you can lay on. And my brother was sitting near the front of the raft, and it kind of dipped in the water a little bit. Not the same fish, but these was... Whoa, whoa! When did that... Oh, what the... Oh. I was not paying attention. I did not know danger was right at the front door. Man, that was so stupid. I got distracted by the other scarab. I didn't realize it was that close. Well, if I'm not mistaken, that does mark the first death of this difficulty. Man, that was lame. That was so lame. Well, so much for 0. Not like it matters, because you get unlimited lives in this game. But still, we lost, god darn it. Okay, well, let's not make that same mistake again. We're going to keep an eye on the pyramid down there. Also, this map is pretty tricky. A, because it keeps looping around on itself. And B, it's kind of hard to see when they're in the water. Yeah, apparently these bugs can swim. Is there anything they can't do? So anyway, the raft kind of dips down the water, and these little minnows start swimming on the raft, and they start biting. I mean, if you really think about it, we're invading their home. Think about it. When you're chilling in your living room, and there's a fly buzzing around your house, you know, everyone says, oh, you know, they got a hole outside. Why are they coming into my house? Why are they bothering me? Well, when we go in the water, the fish probably think the same thing. Like, what are these big ugly things doing in my lake? Why can't they go away? Except, in the case of the fish, they're the fly and we're the humans. Like, when a fly comes into our house, we control the situation. We can either let it outside or we can just kill it. But from the fish's perspective, this fly is like 100 times the size and super powerful and super smart. So we're coming to their domain and we're just messing stuff up. We're throwing trash in the water, we're catching them. Like, imagine if a fly got in your house, it lands on you, and you just die. That's kind of what happened. Don't know how I got on this tangent, but here we are. So hopefully that made somewhat of sense. So we've got a fresh batch of new hires at Burrito Horn. We got a lot of new people. And apparently, most of them are coming from Dairy Queen and Wendy's. Now, we'll start with the Wendy's. The Wendy's is, like, across the street from the Burrito Horn. And our AGM used to work there. And apparently the reason it's bad is because the GM was very lazy. She would just hang out in the office, not do anything, but the cherry on top, she would call other employees lazy, like, and say that they wouldn't do anything. And also, apparently Wendy's is tricky with their service because there's a lot of different types of drink sizes and combinations. So it's tricky to do it, and it's even trickier to do it quickly. And then there was a lot of other smaller problems that people mentioned. And people have actually been... There's been a mass exodus from the Wendy's. like 10 people quit at once. They all walked out. 75% of the staff is gone. So that's what's up with the Wendy's. Now with the Dairy Queen, now this Dairy Queen is actually brand new. It just opened like 3 minutes from my house. It opened, I want to say a year ago-ish, but I'm not sure. The thing with the Dairy Queen is they're very unorganized. Like, no one knows what they're doing, no one can get it right, everyone's all scrambled, like chickens with their head cut off, running around. And they had problems with, like, customer service, like, apparently they had some people that were super rude for no reason. Like, it's not like they were provoked, like, they just chose violence. So that, plus the incompetence, was really sinking the Dairy Queen. And also, now I actually didn't go to this Dairy Queen until a few months after it opened, because I just never got around to it, but apparently upon open, one of the #1 reviews I saw was, hey, it smells like poop in here. Yeah, it smells like waste, fecal matter. Like, oh, we're off to a great start there. Gives a whole new meaning to chocolate fudge sundae. Okay, that one was too far, I apologize. So yeah, on launch, we're getting poop complaints. Well, Dairy Queen's getting poop complaints. Now, I will say, some ice cream places do kind of have that smell. Not like that. But the ice cream mixed with, like, some of them have, like, weird floors, like weird tiles. It can create kind of a weird smell sometimes. However, I have tried it a couple times, and I myself haven't had any problems with either the staff or the food. Now, before this, the closest Dairy Queen was in the next town, like 30 minutes away. So I am glad that this little hidden gem opened up. And it's a grill and chill, so they have burgers and fries too. Now, there's a lot of people that say that, like, oh, if you order something from Dairy Queen that's not ice cream, you deserve to be imprisoned. Well, actually, now they're not the best, but they actually do have pretty decent burgers. The fries are actually really good. I give that like an A-. And then they have a lot of different sides, like hot dogs, chicken tenders, like, they have a lot of options. So actually, I approve of the grill and chill. Get a burger, a fry, maybe a Oreo Blizzard, like, it's good stuff, man. Now, one time I went to Dairy Queen, I made a silly mistake. So they have something called the Flamethrower Burger, which is a burger with very spicy sauce on it. However, at the time, what I thought that meant was I thought that referred to the way they cooked the burger. Now, I didn't literally think that they took a flamethrower to it, because Burger King has flame broiled, McDonald's has a griddle, so I thought flamethrower was like a method that they used to cook the burger. I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together that it meant spicy. So I order this thing, and it is Diablo sauce levels of hot. I get 3 bites into this thing, I'm crying, snot's coming out of my nose. Does that happen to anybody else? Like, your sinuses get full when you eat spicy food, or is that just me? Yeah, I get 3 bites in, I'm like, I can't do this, man. And I told my dad about it, and he roasted me. So I got roasted twice. Once by the burger, and once by a pop. And then something similar happened at Arby's with buffalo chicken. I ordered buffalo chicken because I thought it was a different type of chicken. I didn't know it was spicy. That was even hotter. Now, I'm going to say, spice is a very love it or hate it thing. I cannot do spice. There are some spicy foods, like jalapeno Pringles, that I like the flavor of, but I just can't handle the heat. I say a jalapeno pepper is the maximum spicy thing that I can eat, but even then I can only eat so much, and then I gotta tap out. See, I'll just stick with my mayo and ketchup, my non-spicy sauces. Now, I made a change recently, about a year ago, I stopped ordering pickles on my burgers. I used to like pickles on burgers, but I guess my tastes have changed recently. See, when you have pickles, the juice from the pickle and the pickle themselves, they tend to cool down the burger and make it a little soggy. So I get it with no pickle. Because onions, they cook the same temp as the burger. And even tomato, like, even though it's mostly water, it's a lot softer, so I feel like it melts easier, becomes one with the burger, but pickles are thick. These are thick slices of pickle, and they're excreting a lot of juice. I feel like the tomato kind of dries out with the heat, but the pickle is fighting against the heat. However, I do like pickles on cold cuts. It's like if I'm going to Subway or something, you load me up on that pickle. So yeah, you should definitely, if it's an option, you should definitely try the Dairy Queen burgers and fries. I do think it is worth your time. So, recently we had a lady at Burrito Horn who was kind of bitchy. So, someone gets the speaker and it's a DoorDash driver. Now, I mentioned this before, but for DoorDash for Burrito Horn, you have to come inside, unless the lobby is locked, and then you come through the drive-thru. Now, about a year ago, we did have a big problem where managers would keep locking the lobby because they just didn't want to deal with people coming inside. And then eventually Mr. Cheez-It put the kibosh on that, so we're not doing that anymore. I'd say we lock the lobby early, like, once every few months for deep cleaning. But outside of that, it's always open. So that's the rule. For DoorDash, Uber, you gotta come inside. Now the reason... So to get to the speaker, we tell them to pull forward to the window, and then we tell them to come inside. Now a lot of the time, what I'll do is I'll give it to them through the drive-thru, and I'll say like, hey, for future reference, pickup is inside, but it's cool this time, I'll just give it to you. Well, it wasn't me, it was one of the new people we're gonna call Cheddar Cheese. So Cheddar Cheese tells the lady to pull to the window, and then tells her... Now, she didn't do the trick, because I forgot to tell her, but she tells her to come inside. Now, the reason we do that, if they're at the speaker, and you just tell them to come inside from there, what happens is they drive around the building, but if they don't drive right next to the window, it doesn't set the sensor off. So then on our screen, it keeps showing that there's a car in the drive-thru, even though there's not. We call it a ghost car. And a lot of the time, the ghost car stays on there and it runs our time up. We get graded on drive-thru time. So then we have to reset the whole system. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So when this lady comes inside, she's like, I don't understand why they couldn't tell me at the speaker to just come inside. I don't know why I had to pull to the window and then come inside. So I explained to her about the whole sensor thing, and she looks at me like I got 3 heads. And she keeps, you know, making a stink about it, and eventually she just takes the food and leaves. Like, I took 5 extra seconds out of your day. I don't think it was that big of a deal. But, you know, people are gonna be people. And we beat the stage. Really wish we didn't lose like that. That was... Again, that was lame. That was some Mickey. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And everybody, just do me a little favor. Have yourselves a great day.